Well, first off, our stock of the week is Intel, symbol INTU. And they did something, my friends, that is a complete game changer. You know, it's the number one and two search engine in the world. You know who's that company? Google. They're number one because of Google. They're number two because of YouTube. And they had a exclusive agreement with Intel, not Nvidia, but with Intel to design their internal chips. And that was not like a small order. It was 3 million TPUs. I repeat, 3 million TPUs. This just goes to show you that the AI play is just in its infant stage. And the chip companies that's doing it is Intel and also Nvidia and AMD. But in this case, Intel because of their contractual agreement with Google. And what sets Intel apart from other chip companies is that it has two businesses running at the same time. Yes, they design and make chips, but they also own their own factories. So small chip companies use Intel factories to make their chips. So basically, Intel is getting a piece of every other business who makes chips. That, my friends, can be looked at as a monopoly. So these massive multi-billion-dollar facilities that physically manufacture chips, and the factory business is called a foundry. Think of it like this. Some companies design sneakers and pay someone else to make them. Well, in the chip world, almost everybody, Nvidia, Apple, Google, AMD, they design their own chips, but pays one company in Taiwan. That's Taiwan Semiconductor, symbol TSMC. But TSMC is basically the world's only factory that can really make this advanced stuff. And they're slammed with orders. They can't do anything about it. But here comes Intel to the rescue. Intel is not a company in Taiwan. It's a company made here in the US. So from a geopolitical standpoint, that is a competitive advantage. And since Intel has spent years and tens of billions of dollars saying, hey, we could be your factory, and we're here in America, now people are looking into them. But their stock fell because people was not messing with them. Their stock went from $60 to as low as $19. And people thought Intel was done. But no, they was reincarnated and solidifying a $3 million TPU contract exclusively with Google says all that we need to know about Intel. And this agreement is more than half of what Google is doing from a chip standpoint. So, we all want to diversify. We want to, shop with one company. We want to shop with another. But Google said they feel so good about Intel that they're going to do more than 50% of their orders with them. That shows you the strength, and what Intel was doing is now latching on to the chip community. In the moment that Google or maybe even Nvidia could be looked at as a possible customer, because yes, Nvidia designs chips, but they don't have their own factories. So what if Nvidia, the biggest chip maker in the world, then uses the factories made by Intel? That's a moat, not a monopoly. Investors will definitely look at Intel totally different, and that's why their stock jumped up. Let's look at the charts to verify that. Look at here, up by 25.8%. Monday, 109 a share, up by 10%, right? Then 12%. Then it went down. Maybe a great time to buy. Up and up by 25% in 1 week, right? Over the past month, still an opportunity, right? Because it was down by over 22% June 4th. So you still have an opportunity to buy something at a low, right? And if you look at year to date, up by 171. So the best time to buy was a few weeks ago when it went down to $99 a share. Now it's at $125. That, my friends, is a 20% gain in less than a week. Now, it has some climbing to do, right? Not so much. Over the past 10 years, it was a struggling stock. And yes, it got down to $27 a share in 2022 and even to $19 a share in 2024. A struggling stock. But when you have a legacy, when you have trust and brand recognition, it goes a long way. And Intel has it all. They've been around for a very, very long time. We all know about Intel chips. We all saw their commercials, and they continue to move the goalposts forward. And for that reason, they're the stock of the week. For that reason, they might be one of the greatest opportunities from investment standpoint we have, because they're going to continue the brand loyalty. They're going to continue the brand recognition. And if they get adopted by more companies using factories, and if China and Xi Jinping says what he wants to do, which is invade Taiwan, and they take over TSCM, Intel may go to the moon.